We have to begin with the World Cup, definitely. And now I'm being joined by Olalekan Adebayo, who joins me virtually. Olalekan, good afternoon. Welcome to the show.
Good afternoon. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure being here.
As we speak, it has to be breaking news because as we speak, Argentina are a few seconds away from losing their opening match against Saudi Arabia. They are into the 12th minute of added time, and they scored first courtesy of Lionel Messi'S penalty within the first 9 minutes of the game. But two goals within a space of 4 minutes in the second half turned things around for Saudi Arabia, and it's 2-1 as we speak. Within the next few seconds, that match should be over. What do you make of this, considering Argentina were once touted as one of the favorites for a title?
Yes, I think it's a shock to the whole world. I would say to the whole world of football, because everybody was expecting an easy win. We're expecting probably 3, 4, 5 goals up, like for Argentina. Then you go into this game and you see them. I think they had some 2, 3 goals ruled out offside also. But I think the game. I think Argentina came in with a very. I think they underestimated the Saudi Arabia. I think they underestimated them a bit. This Saudi Arabia has really shocked everybody, I would say, because the 2 goals they scored were not even, it's not like they were trying to score some corners and just somehow mistakenly scored. They scored very good goals, very beautiful goals that you see, put together goals that you see. So I would say I'm really, really shocked, and I think it's a poor one from Argentina. It's a very poor one from their defense also. It's a poor one for them. Looking at them, they are one of the major contenders for the World Cup, and when you see this kind of thing happen to them, you begin to wonder if they are really a major contender for the World Cup.
Yeah, but how does this affect their chances going forward? They are into the 14th minute of added time as we speak, and it's just seconds away. I'm sure the referee is taking a good look at his wristwatch to call an end to the proceedings, as it were. How do you think this affects them going forward? They still have Mexico and Poland to play in that group. Saudi Arabia were meant to be the whipping boys.
Yes, I think it's a big problem, because when you look at the group, looking at Mexico, looking at Poland, these teams are not easy teams to play with. They are not games that you can even write off. They are games that you probably have to fight hard to win. So when you lose a 3-point game that you are supposed to win, it becomes a very serious problem for them qualifying, because it means they have to actually beat both teams. They have to at least win one and probably draw one, and hope somehow Poland or Mexico draw Saudi Arabia, which it's not beautiful for them. It becomes a game of how to start making permutations. I think they put themselves in a tight spot like this, I would say.
Okay, it's official. That match has ended. Just as I said earlier, it was seconds away, but it's now official. It has ended, and Saudi Arabia has earned the famous 2-1 win over Argentina. It is a shocker to so many people. I can understand the shock around the stadium. Goals from Saleh Al-Shari as well as Al-Darasi got the goals for them. Now, what so many people do not know is Hervé Renard is the coach of Saudi Arabia. That's a name that resonates with Ivorians, who won them, as well as Zambians. He won them the African Cup of Nations. He's definitely a legend when it comes to African football. Quickly, just before we move away from there and delve into the action we saw yesterday, the win for Saudi Arabia, how does this boost their chances of earning, that's improbable second round ticket? They still have Mexico and Poland to play, but they've done the hardest of the jobs in terms of defeating, Argentina.
Yes, I think it's going to be a big confidence booster for them. Because knowing this kind of game in the World Cup, I think they just probably need 2 draws. I think if they can get 2 draws from Poland and Mexico, or even between any of them, they can actually go into the round of 16. So it's a big confidence booster for them, and it makes. I think they might actually have a shot at going into the round of 16 with the way they played today. You could see how they defended very well. They defended with all they had. They were even very sharp in their counter attacks also. So I think they have really improved, and having a coach like that, like a legend for them, has really, really helped them.
Well, it's a shock that we're still trying to come to terms with here in the studio, and I'm sure that's the same feeling across the world of sports, especially when it comes to football fans. Argentina has lost their opening game of this tournament, and it's a 2-1 loss to Saudi Arabia. Lionel Messi getting the first goal from them from the spot. Lautaro Martinez of Inter Milan scored another goal in the first half, but that was chalked off by the video assistant referee. And in the second half, an improbable recovery from the Saudi Arabian team, courtesy of goals from Al Sheri as well as Al Darasi, to end Saudi Arabia a famous 2-1 win, most especially to probably put Hervé Renard once again on the global map. On the continent of Africa, is definitely a legend, winning 2 African Cup of Nations, but now this is the global scene, and definitely his name would resonate with the players of Saudi Arabia at this time. Let's turn our attention now to the match we had yesterday, and we have to start with the African team. Yes, Senegal were in action against Netherlands, and that was a match that they had chances to also, probably get a win in there. But 2 hours late on in that game cost them the, win, or at least the points in that game. What do you make of Edouard Mendy's form in recent times, and how this has probably affected Senegal's chance of qualifying for the next round?
Well, I'll say for its form, I think it has been really, I'll say it has been really bad for its form. You could see the 2 goals yesterday. The 2 goals could probably even wouldn't have happened with if he had probably, I would say, been better. I think he had had low confidence as a keeper. I think starting from Chelsea in his form this season, there has been a little bit of fight of confidence for him. And I would say Senegal as a team, I would say I'm really disappointed in the team as a whole, because looking at the game, looking at the way Netherlands played yesterday, they didn't really play something that spectacular for them to just win that game by 2-0. Senegal had very good opportunities that they will have gone up, but I think they wasted those opportunities. And also, you could see the impact of having Mane on the field. Mane would have really played a very big impact, will have had a very big impact in their game yesterday. I think losing Mane was a very big, I'll say, very big loss for them. So, but I think as a whole, Senegal as a whole were probably one of the best teams in Africa that we're hoping will go very far. And with the game they played yesterday, it was very disappointing, I would say.
Okay, let's turn our attention now to Iran, and that's the match between the 3 Lions of England and Iran. That ended with an 8-goal thriller, 6-2. You had Bukayo Saka justifying his start ahead of Phil Foden, getting a brace in there. Rashford came off the bench to score as well. England, yes, not one of the favorites according to many pundits. Do you think they can go all the way in replicating the feat they achieved at the last World Cup, talking about the semi-final run?
Well, I'll say they will really try. I think England have had more problems facing bigger teams that have more quality like them, because even against bigger teams that have more quality. In recent matches, it has been a struggle for them winning those games. So I would say I want them to play against these quality teams. Then if you see how they play against them, they are able to improve. Probably even against the Australian Wales, and see how they improve. Then I can give them to go all the way. But yesterday's match, I would say they really tried and really improved, and their gameplay really improved. Considering Iran was, I think from the last World Cup, Iran has known to frustrate these kind of teams. They kind of just sit down at home and play 1-0. You struggle to win 1-0 or play a draw or something. So I was really expecting probably 1-0 from England, and I'm going 3-0 up in the first half. I think it was a very good game. They have improved their game results, and if they continue like this, they could be up for the World Cup.
Okay, let's turn our attention now to today's matches. Yes, you had the first one coming up, which came up about 2 hours ago, and that was the very first upset of this tournament, talking about Saudi Arabia's famous win over Argentina. The defending champions will also be taking on Australia today, talking about France, and I'm sure they would have probably taken note of Argentina's loss to know that they can't be complacent going into this match. Defending champions, injury ridden, it must be said, from Nkunku to N'Golo Kante, Paul Pogba, you can go on Karim Benzema, Ballon d'Or winner, everyone virtually absent for the French team. Do you think they can get it done against Australia tonight?
Well, I would say to be a hard-fought win, but I think they can really get it against Australia because France is a team that has a lot of quality players. Even with these players injured, if you check their squad, you still see they still have players that they are of top quality. They may not be the best. They may not be as good as people that have gone on injury, but they still have players that have very good quality. And comparing those qualities to Australia, you would really pick France. So it depends on the kind of work. If they can put the work into it, I think they should be able to win the game.
Okay, let's look at one of the dark horses of this, tournament. So many pundits have given it to them for, a late run or a deep run, as it were, in this tournament, and that's Denmark. Ever since that, shocking and quite scary heart attack from Christian Eriksen during the Euros, they've had a phenomenal 1 year plus in terms of amazing results both on and off the field of play. They'll be taking on, Tunisia today. What are you expecting? Denmark against Tunisia.
I'm expecting. I'll probably say it's a fair game because Tunisia is not a very good. It's not in kind of looking at it on paper. They are not a very, very good team like that. But they are known to bring out surprises too on their own. They're known to give out surprises too. So I think we all know them, we all know the kind of form they have been. And if they are in this form as they have been, if none of their players have probably dropped from it, if they don't have injuries, probably even during the game, I think they should be able to go on and win the game.